about ready to start. Here comes Big Bill.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry to interrupt a good and lively conversation, but we're going to get started with our meeting here today. And I'd like to ask Kevin Miser to come up and lead us with the inspiration and Pledge of Allegiance.
Hi. So I'm doing today's inspiration. It's as you can see from the name tag for the new people, it's Bill Zimmerman, but it's with two N's. So you can tell us what I was doing. Is it playing? Great. So we're going to talk today about noticing the good stuff, augmenting the good stuff, which I think Rotary is very, very good at. Before we had talked about our environment in the house. And if you want to leave the news on all day, that's up to you. But there are a lot of other things. So this video, a lot of times I'll just put on in the house. It has some quiet music. You can cruise through the air of Italy. You can cruise through Nicaragua. You can cruise wherever you want. There's even a very pretty one of Ukraine before the recent, demolition happened over the last year or so. It's just fantastic and amazing. So I bring it up there. We can put the link in the newsletter if you want. And in terms of finding good stuff, one example I wanted to give you thanks and let you give yourself thanks. We finally met with the Afghan family. We're helping resettle an interpreter. And they're just great. We did some stuff. The move went well. And Connie later will talk about what they need. There were some things that people wanted to donate, and a party we were working with said, you can't give clothing, for example, I guess. And we met the mom and the dad, and they're like, we've got 8 kids. We're okay taking a chance on getting inappropriate clothing. We'll just throw it out, everything's okay. And in terms of people, there were some concerns there, we've been at war for over a couple decades, so stereotypes are, of course, promulgated as that's how it works. The dad's great, full respect to the mom. The kids were crying all over him as he was trying to talk, and he was A-okay with it. They're a team together. It's just great. In terms of priorities, they in fact have the toys put away, and they say, no, we want our kids to learn to grow up without a bunch of toys and things like that. So that's good. So which camera?
The webcam.
Yeah, you want to stay there? Yeah, please pause. So no, thank you. Or work with whoever to actually change the world. So congrats. Thanks. Yeah, sure. Please stand. Unless you're on Zoom, don't stand, because then we're just staring at your belly button. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I just wanted to do
that. Awesome. Thank you, Kevin, for that inspiration and update on the impact we're having with the Afghan family that's in the process of relocating their lives in Colorado. Okay, we have a number of guests today, and I want to make sure that we recognize them and give them a chance to say a quick hello. So sitting up here with me at the front table are Alan and Linda, and they found us through the recycling event. So if one of you wants to just stand up and say sort of why you're here, how you found us, what you're interested in very quickly, we'd love to hear a little from you.
I've been in Colorado Springs for 30 years, and then a little break in Arizona, and that lasted about 17 months. And we moved back up here, and we went, like Bill said, we went to recycling, and the lady there was nice and gave us a card, and said, look on the website, you might be interested in joining. And we moved here in November, we've unpacked and got settled, and feel like now we have time to volunteer.
Great. Yeah.
Dad? Yeah, no, not really.
Nita,
I
she's
could
sitting there in the
reach
back.
this way, but not that.
Welcome, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you found us.
And we did in Panama, the country for a couple of years to check it out.
Wow.
But I wanted to be close to kids, so we came back a couple of years ago, and I started working part-time instead of full-time. So I thought I had some time, and I met them also at the paving recycling.
Oh, wonderful. Well, good, welcome, we're glad you're here. Okay, and I know Shannon, we have a visiting Rotarian all the way from Texas who recently relocated, so tell us a little bit about you and your Rotary career. Oh! Okay.
We have about 35 people in our club, and we're in the process of rebuilding. I'm really sad that I'm not going to be there because your electronic recycling drive, we are figuring out that we reach the community through being present just at different events.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's me. I'm in the process of moving here, and my day job is I own a travel agency.
Oh, all right. Well, you all are welcome to come back. In fact, we would feel better if you came back, because we don't like it when people visit one time and don't come back. So, thanks for being here. Any other visitors on Zoom? Any points?
No, Kelsey, your dad, Jane,
Oh.
Chip, and Arthur and
My dad?
Terry. Your dad's on.
Hi, Dad. I forget what that camera is, but all right. Let's see. We're gonna start off with a Rotary moment. We've had a few of these here the last few months. So Mark Eberly, one of our long time members, is going to share a Rotary moment with everybody.
He needs to talk.
Well, for my Rotary moment, I'm going to talk a little bit about, the volunteering. A little bit about volunteering. I was asked to join Rotary, and it's something I really wanted to do as community service. I grew up in a small town in Ohio that had 1,200 people, and our family was involved. Didn't have a Rotary club, but we did have a Kiwanis club, and my dad was in that, and my two uncles. My mom was the clerk of the cemetery. My dad was on town council and church council, volunteer fire department. My uncle served on the school board, so there was a lot of community involvement. So I was asked to join, and I thought I could really get involved in this. But with Rotary, my Rotary moment is what it opened up the aspect of more of the world aspect of Rotary. And that was through the youth exchange program, which Neil DiLorenzo and Mary Kay Haas was really involved in. And I really enjoyed the students that came. And when they first came and you got to meet them and told their story about themselves, and we asked them what their impressions were of our country. And throughout the year, we met with these students, and it was really fun to see them at the end of the year and see what their impressions were of our country. I really enjoyed that. And I learned so much from all the students too, about their country, their culture. And so that's what one of the things that I really enjoyed was the world aspect of Rotary. So that's my Rotary.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Mark. That's one of the big reasons I joined Rotary too, was really for the, I guess, global presence that Rotary has and all the things that we do around the world, and these youth exchange programs that our club's been so involved in, and I've personally been involved in. It really does change people's lives, and I know I benefited from participation in that program, and lots of you in the club here have participated in those exchanges. Okay, next on the agenda, I'm going to ask Sue Bramley is going to introduce our speaker today. Sue.
Well, I know we have all been so excited getting in touch with our inner artiste as we make these bags for Project Angel Heart. But I knew there had to be something beyond that and something else that they did other than make us into bag ladies. So I called and I was they were kind enough to send us Bill Bottoms, who's going to talk to us today. After a 40-plus year career in aviation and post-secondary education, Bill has now clocked in 10 years with Project Angel Heart, and he welcomes the opportunity to share his experiences with all of us. So welcome to Bill.
Thank you, Sue. Can we go to slide note? Got it. Great. First off, let me say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here with you today. I get great pleasure out of having that opportunity to share Project Angel Heart and what we're doing and what you're doing for us as a volunteer, and give you sort of the rest of the story, as Sue put it, sort of give you the background of where Project Angel Heart came from, where we have been, and where we hope to be going. Now, if I can figure this out, I am an aerospace engineer, so I think which one? Yeah. Which one you follow? That's what I tried.
If there's a little bit of a delay, there you go. So it'll take about 3 to 5 seconds.
Got it.
Bill, can you speak more into the microphone?
Okie doke.
Careful, that's real scary.
How's that? Is that better? Very good. All right. As Sue mentioned, I retired about 10 years ago, and I was looking for a place to volunteer. And I actually had a friend who had been delivering meals for Project Angel Heart, and she suggested that I come and go to the orientation. And I will say that I never went to a second orientation at any other nonprofit organization, and I've been at Angel Heart now in my 10th year. But Angel Heart has been around since 1991. A gentleman by the name of Charles Robbins, who had lived here in the Denver area, had moved to San Francisco. When he came back in 91, he found that many of his friends were suffering from HIV and AIDS, but in addition to that, many of them were perishing or close to perishing because they had no access to nourishing meals. As you recall, back in that period of time, the terror of HIV and AIDS was so great that everyone who suffered from that terrible disease, they had no access to support. So one of the things that Charles did was he started talking to restaurants around the area to see if there was a way to start offering nourishing meals to these people. And in 1991, the first 12 clients that we had were served lasagna from Racine's. Unfortunately, Racine's was a victim of COVID, which I'm very sad because I've eaten there many, many times. But starting then in 1991, working out of the basement of a couple of different churches in the community, Angel Heart has grown now after 31 years. We have now delivered over 8 million meals. We're getting close to our 9 millionth later this year, probably. But what is our mission? What is our focus? Hippocrates has been credited with many things, but one of the statements that he made that we like to follow is that let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food. We believe that by giving giving people the opportunity to gain access to custom designed nourishing meals, that in and of itself serves as an incredible medicine for them. And at the same time, doing it in such a way that it is free of cost to them, it will give them access as well to the medication and the other support organizations that they need. So what do? Our meals are all freshly prepared. Our kitchen is down on Washington Street at 50th. We prepare between 12 and 15,000 meals every week. In fact, today, and I'll touch on this a little more, but today is our day when we load those bags. And I really appreciate the work that you do in decorating the bags, but today, normally I would be working there stuffing bags. And we will load close to 1,700 bags that will be distributed during the course of the coming weekend. We deliver on Friday and Saturday. All of the meals are made from scratch in our kitchen. And they all are designed to meet the nourishment requirements for a day for any of our clients. We do have a nutritionist on staff, and we customize the meals to meet the individual needs of our guests. Each meal bag, I'll cover this a little bit more detail, but each meal bag includes meals for 7 days. In 2021, we delivered over 500,000 meals. Our schedule for 2022 will put us over 600,000. What did I push? Oh, I think I pushed it accidentally. All right, now we'll move on. There we go. So 2021 was a good year for us. We continued to grow even in spite of the COVID situation, which we were very, very proud to be able to do. I can say with great pride that we never missed one single meal delivery during COVID. Not one. As I said, we've been growing, and although 2021 was a good year of growth, thus far, we're not even halfway through 2022. We are now delivering all the way down to Pueblo. So we deliver from Boulder to Pueblo. As I mentioned, we also ship meals out via UPS and FedEx to communities around the state. We do that working with hospitals that are particularly helping to support people who have gone through major surgery or critical illness, that due to their recovery situation, they don't have access to nourishing meals. So we ship those meals out to them. So 2020, as I mentioned, we will be over 600,000 meals prepared. We will be, as you notice up there, the big banner that 2021 was that we did 1,500 clients in one weekend. Well, as I just said, today they're loading over 1,700 bags that'll go out this weekend. What goes into a bag? You guys, like I said, we really appreciate you making the bags, but here's what goes into it. As I mentioned, it's a full week's worth of food that we provide. There are 7 frozen meals. You can see the picture there of the different meal sets. In addition to that, we do serve some fruit and milk, bread, dessert, and when their birthday is there, we make sure that they have a birthday cake and a birthday card for celebrating their special day. Now, in addition, 20% of our people, their nourishment requirements are so significant that just the regular meal bag is not enough. So we will provide them with a supplement. It may well be a breakfast bag. It may be other specific nutritional needs that they have. As I mentioned before, all of our meals are custom designed to meet the specific needs of the individual client. This gives you a picture of a sample bag, meal tray. It includes the vegetable of the day. It does include carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, everything that it takes to have a well-rounded, fully nourishing meal. Now, the menu over there, I'll let you sort of read through it a little bit. I have had clients that I deliver to actually say, gee whiz, the names of the meals are the kind of things that I would read on the menu at a five-star restaurant. And we take pride in that. And they do, we do get many comments back about the quality of the meals. We do have 5 primary groups of meals that are designed to meet primarily the medical needs of the individual people. And so we've got them, as you see there, they're renal, allergy, unseasoned, vegetarian, and heart healthy. But in addition, we expand on there. They're those same first 5, but the little bubbles that you see below, within each of those 5 categories, we customize the meals further if someone is, they're non-gluten, or they have GI problems, or if they cannot eat fish, or we customize the meals not only to meet their medical needs, but to also meet any religious preferences that they have or personal preferences. So every meal typically will be broken down into about 25 or 26 different variations so that it's customized to meet those individual needs. Who are our clients? I like this picture for a couple of reasons, because I can emphasize number one, there are no age or income restrictions whatsoever. We have had clients as young as 6 and ones that got into their 105, 106. There are no income requirements whatsoever. The pure, simple requirement is, are you facing a serious or life-threatening illness that renders you incapable of gaining access to nourishing meals? That may mean that you can't get to the grocery store. It may mean that you don't have the stamina necessary to cook your meals. Whatever it is that keeps you from getting that nourishment that you need in order to recover from whatever or live through whatever you're dealing with, that will give you qualifications to us. The other thing is that if you'll notice in parentheses there, it says life-threatening illness, severe or life-threatening illnesses plus dependence. And I like to point out this bottom picture. Look at this single mom with 2 kids. If I deliver her a bag on Friday or Saturday with 7 well-balanced meals, where are those 7 meals going? They're going to the kids. So in order for us to meet our mission of seeing food as a medicine and medicine as your food, we need to be sure that that mom gets the food. So whether this is a single mom with 2 kids, or whether it's a husband and wife, and the wife is the one who would normally be preparing the meals for the family, but yet she's the one who doesn't have the stamina necessary to cook, we will provide meals to both of them. And all of that is free of charge. This gives you a little bit of an idea during the 2021 of how our clientele was mixed. So you can see there that 60% were over 60, 37% were people of color, 57% were living in poverty, and 66% had special dietary needs. This also is a breakdown. We go back and survey our clients every year to get a feel for the impact that we are having. And we do break it down both in general terms and also by specifics. These happen to be the comments that we have received from those people who are facing cancer-related serious illnesses. But you can see their quality of life, they said, improved by 79%. You can look at the other categories there, relationships, health, their general health was up, their energy was up, and the stress levels that they had been facing were down because they knew they had a meal coming to them. And again, I'll mention the COVID period. Those very first few weeks of COVID, when everybody was on a total shutdown and you weren't allowed out on the highway, those of us who were delivering actually had a letter from the governor. And I called it my get out of jail free card. But I kept it up under the visor because the interstate was empty other than state patrol officers. You know, and so I was always prepared that if they pulled you over, we were considered essential. But those first few weeks, I cannot count the number of clients that came to the door in tears because they did not know whether they were going to have food to eat. And they were just blessed that we were that we were out there serving them. So it took away the stress. And even as we progressed through it all, we still believe that one of the key things we can do is to take away the stress that these people are facing. Here's a little bit of a narrative from one of our clients. I'll give you a moment or two to read that. And we get stories like this every day. Those of us who deliver get the opportunity to chat briefly with folks. But it's a wonderful feeling when you can look somebody in the eye and see the genuine relief that they have and the appreciation. There's a bag, one of the many bags that we deliver and ones that you guys decorate for us. I have had people that as I'm walking up to the front porch, they say, show me the bag, show me the bag. They want it. And I will tell you that they love the ones that are done by the first graders and the kindergartners just as much as they do the ones that are done by art students. And I will assure you, we do get bags that are worthy of being framed. It is totally amazing. How do we do it? One word and one word only: volunteers. It takes about 350 volunteers every week to pull it together. As I mentioned, it'll be between 12 and 13,000 meals that are prepared every week. All of those meals end up having to be dished up. You can see in that picture, the pictures of, and here's some pictures of dishing up the meals over the far right. Let me go back to that. I pushed the button a little bit too quickly. But here what you're looking at is on the left-hand picture, there are people that are chopping vegetables. As I mentioned, everything is prepared from scratch. On the right, they're preparing the bread, loading it into individual bags. Here we've got, on the left, you've got people actually dishing the meals up into the meal trays. On the right is the distribution group, which, like I said, is going on as we speak. The second person on the right is me. Also the delivery, our deliveries are made on Fridays and Saturdays. Friday deliveries are all in the close proximity of where the kitchen is, as I said, on Washington and 50th. Then on Saturdays, we take the meals out to remote locations, to central places where people can pick up the meals and take them and deliver. We do have a drop-off point here in the Highland Ranch area, and we do deliver all the way down within the metropolitan area, go down to Castle Rock. So we do indeed have deliveries here in the Highlands Ranch area as well as all the way down. And if any of you are ever interested in delivering, I do have flyers that I put back there that talk about what's in your meal bag and then also different ways that you can volunteer. This is you guys, the personal touch that goes into those bags. One of the problems that we have on Thursdays is that, as you can imagine, we're loading 1,700 bags. It's a process. They got to keep going. It's got to keep going. But the bags are so pretty. And you want, oh, look at this one. No, don't look at it. You haven't got time to look at it. We laugh. We're somewhat close to the same age. Lucille Ball in that show where she was at the candy plant. That's what Thursdays are like. Good. Phew. But I know my audience. But if you remember that, that's what Thursdays are like. We also are very much into sustainability. We believe in our world. We believe in the people that are in this world, and we believe whether it's recycling, whether it's use of solar energy or whatever it is, we will seek every opportunity we can to assure sustainability as we operate our activities here. How can you get involved? Delivery of meals or We do have shifts that are going on at the kitchen. They start at 8 in the morning and they go to 8:30 at night, every day of the week. There are things you can do in the kitchen. There are administrative things that can be done. But then also there's the decorating of bags. There's the deliveries that I've already spoken about. And one of the flyers that I've left back there is how you can volunteer. And this is sort of really some parting thoughts of, we genuinely love being able to make a difference. I have come away from delivering almost with tears in my eyes when I look at the situation that an individual client is facing. And I've looked up above and said, oh, but by the grace of God, go I. And my phrase around the Angel Heart offices is, I will be a volunteer until the day I become a client. So I welcome the opportunity to have shared this with you. I hope that if it sparked any of you to get involved beyond your activities and decorate, don't stop the decorating. But if there's any other activities, I am going to stay for the rest of the meeting, so that if you want to chat afterwards, or if you have any questions now, I'd be happy to try to. I don't know how I did with my 25 minutes. How am I doing?
Right on.
I'm right on. Okay. Yes, sir.
How do people get referred to you to be on their list?
Excellent question. They have to come either from a medical source or a social service source. But it's not a complicated process. It's a 2-page application that really is just giving background information. We then do have a very comprehensive client services group that will make sure the validity of all the background information. Will meet with not only the referral physician or counselor, but we'll meet with the individual client to make sure we know exactly what their needs are, because we do want to customize to meet their needs. But we have at times had a waiting list of as much as a month. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just curious, because the one thing I didn't see on there, which is a big problem, diabetes, so that was not on there, so.
It is, yes, we do custom to, that falls into the little dots. We're always conscious of the level of concentrated sugars and fats and those types of things. So the normal meal, I guess what you would say, is already designed to try to minimize that impact. But those that we know or fall into that category, it's just like GI or just like gluten-free, that if they're diabetic, then we make sure that their meal is compatible with their diabetes. Excellent question. Yes, ma'am.
What percentage of the delivery bags are actually decorated? Are all 1,700 or?
It varies. It does vary. Unfortunately, before COVID, we regularly recycled the bags. Bags that were in good conditions, we encouraged the clients to leave them out, and those of us that were delivering would bring them back. Well, of course, in the early days of COVID, we did not know how it was being transmitted. So we immediately shut that down. Unfortunately, another thing that we shut down during the early stages of COVID was decorating the bags, because there's another contact to the bag. But last year we did restart the decorating, and it's picking back up. We're not quite to where we were, but I would say typically it's probably close to 80% of them are decorated. And it'll range from elementary school kids, scout groups, groups like you guys. I've gone to conferences with Phi Beta Kappa, and they take a period, and then all they do is decorate bags. I had a bunch of really top high school students recently that we were working with, and they blow my mind. I mean, I'm an engineer, I'm not an artist. I do stick figures, you know. But it totally blew my mind. I'd give them a bag, and they'd go and they'd sit at a table like that, and just out of the blue, they'd come up with this incredible picture of what, no matter what it was. I had one that it was a group of college brilliant kids, and this guy was a mechanical engineer, And he had turned in his bag, and I said, "Oh, you must be a doctor." And he said, "No." He said, "I'm a mechanical engineer." His drawing was an anatomically correct human heart with his valves and everything. And he had just been sitting there at the time. He said, "It's one of the greatest machines ever designed." Yes, sir. I thought you were raising your hand. Back here.
Typically, how long do people stay in your program to receive those?
Excellent question as well. It's about 4.5 months on average. But I have had clients that I have been delivering to well into the second or third year. A lot of it depends upon the severity of their situation. No, I've got some that I've been on a first name basis with for a couple of years. And then there's some that, yeah, right, within a few days, few weeks. So, yes.
So I did like homeless outreach and managing volunteers, not 350 of them, but they're not employees. You can't tell people to show up, I need 300 people. So, and people, you know, they're not necessarily going to stay for 8 hours or whatever. How do you manage all this when your workforce are volunteers?
We have a volunteer coordinating department. We have 4 people. One of them is the community outreach director, who also coordinates the things that I'm doing right here. But we have over 8,000 active volunteers on the roster. And so what they do, they look at the needs, whether it be the needs in the distribution, whether it's in kitchen prep, whether, no matter what it may be, they are looking at that list and are making sure that we have the shifts full. I will tell you, there have been times when we've been short, but usually when we're short, they're filled in by people from the front office. The employees, including the chairman, will be back helping load meals or chop vegetables. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Coming up with, even though you may have 8,000 on the roster, finding 350 every week is a challenge. But I think you were working with Kamisha. She's one of our coordinators, and they get upset with me when they've got me coming out and making a presentation on Thursday because I'm supposed to be loading bags. You know, so the other one, Kamisha is the one who sets up these types of activities. But Alexandra is the one who fills the distribution shifts, and they sit right beside each other, and they get upset. Well, Bill, where are you going to be on Thursday? You know, yes, sir.
Just one last thing that I wanted to let you know, we had our Rotary district meeting a couple of weeks ago, and they took one of the periods to have the people decorate bags. They ended up with somewhere in the neighborhood of 150.
Correct. Great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Way back there in the back.
How are you funded?
How are we funded? We are funded through donations. We do not get any federal funding. We do apply for grants that are appropriate, and we do get some of those. But primarily, our primary funding sources are donations through volunteers, through organizations, and yes, as I said, we do get some grants, but there's no federal funding for the program.
Do you not receive federal foods like
We work.
some of the USDA or?
No, we work with the food bank,
Yeah.
and we work with other similar organizations. We Don't Waste is another organization that we work closely with, but it's other nonprofits that we're working with, and we go either way. Like I said, everything that we're doing, all the vegetables and all that are fresh, and a lot of what we do get is coming to us through the food bank or through local grocery stores. If it's past the best sell-by date, then we can get that. But no, we're not on any of the federal food programs.
One more question, anybody? All right, if not, let's give Bill a round of applause.
I appreciate the question.
Well, thank you, Bill. That was a great informative session about your organization. I think a lot of us have heard about your organization, not quite sure of all those details, but it's really incredible, the numbers meals that you're putting out there. That's very commendable, and I would say you definitely have the hearts of angels. I'm not sure how that name came up, but certainly would be fitting. And I saw one of the comments there. She said, "You guys are angels." So thanks for the great work in the community.
It's a pleasure.
We wanted to present you with this, so thank you for being a part of our meeting in the Rotary Club of Highlands Ranch. A donation has been made in your name to Rotary International and the Polio Plus Fund in your honor. And because of the Gates Foundation, which matches this 2-to-1, the donations will be used to vaccinate about 30 children. So thanks for being here.
Thank you. That is
We have a tradition of a 50-50 drawing, so if you would pick one of the tickets here and read the last 3 digits, please.
all right. The last 3 digits are 2, 4, 4. Sue, check mine.
I did.
Come on, 2, 4, 4.
For those of you...
Oh, back there, all right.
Yeah, way in the back.
I think that was nice. And I would like to donate that 50-50
Oh,
to
Bill.
Angel Heart. I would like to donate our winnings to you.
They're married, so this is a legit deal.
What am I doing here? Do you agree?
Gary, do we have a second on that motion?
Thank you very much, and thank you.
Thanks for being here. All right, let's give one more round of applause. Okay, we've got several announcements. I'll start off with a quickie here. If you have a gift card for the Eagle Academy gift card drive, see Scott Davenport. He's over here. If you just want to throw some cash, you'll convert it into gift cards. Is that right, Scott? Yeah.
I could do that.
You could do that. I'll convert it. Okay.
What if we brought snacks? What if we also brought snacks?
If you have snacks, I don't know what to do with it. I think those. Okay, so we're all set with that. Nancy, why don't you come up here first, since you're already out of your seat, and you're going to share. I think everybody knows about the Rotary Reader Program.
And of course, I forgot the sign, but I'm gonna read to you. So Tuesday, we went for pizza party for the kids. I'll bring the sign next week, I promise.
Come on, please.
But I want to read, so we arrived on Tuesday, Connie, Marion, Sue, and I, and here come the kids out with this sign, and these are first graders. In Sedalia, dear Rotary readers, thank you so much for reading with us every week. We love that you help us with our reading and sight words. When you come and read with us, we are excited because you make us better readers. We hope you have a good summer. Your friends, the first graders at Sedalia Elementary. Not the sweetest, and they signed it.
Thank you for sharing that. That's nice to know how much they appreciate it, and that they're having fun just like we are when we go down there. Okay, Debbie Doig, you have an announcement about some openings on the Highlands Ranch Rotary Foundation. So come on up here.
I do, indeed. Debbie does. All right, I stand here as the chairperson of your Highlands Ranch Rotary Foundation. The bylaws say that in the fourth quarter of the Rotary year, we are to hold an election for the open positions on the trustee board. For those of you who are visiting, we as a club raise funds. They come into the foundation, and the foundation, which is 7 trustees, determine how those funds are distributed. And organizations that
could be like Project Angel Heart we support. So currently on our board, we have Sharon Murty, who has 2 more years, no, 1 more year before he is term limited. A term is 3 years. Connie, Betsy, and Paul Campbell are all on the board, and they are term limited in 2 years. Bill Zimmerman is on the club board as representative, as club president. So next year, his position will be replaced with Tom Keaton. So that leaves 2 openings, if you're counting up the 7. One is myself. I can serve for 1 more term. The bylaws say you can run for 2 consecutive 3-year terms. So I'm about done with my first. I can run again. And then Steve Miller, unfortunately, has been able to retire from his long-term job.
From one of his many long-term.
Yeah. Now, he can take a year off and come back on, but he has now served 2 3-year terms. So this means we have 2 openings, is the bottom line. And so according to our bylaws, we have 2 weeks where we ask for nominations from the floor or from the tables or from the chairs, wherever you want to be. And so this week and next week, I am here to take nominations. Then on June 1, all club members, noon club members will get an email. Connie is our club secretary, or the foundation secretary. She's handling the voting process, and you will all get an email, club runner email from her with the people that are that want to be reelected. And you'll need to respond to that, and you'll have 1 week to do it, because we're going to have the results by June 7th. I'm going to ask the people that are nominated to write a short paragraph. We did this last year, and I think it worked out really well, as to how long they've been in Rotary and why they want to serve on the foundation. And we will include that, Connie will, in her email that goes out asking you to determine the 2 that you would be elected for this term. So before I ask for nominees, are there any questions? Have I covered all your many questions?
What time is do you have a scheduled meeting?
That is a good question. First of all, it's a 3-year commitment. Second of all, we meet once a month unless we have other reasons to do that. We try to put it congruent with one of our club meetings before or after. They go anywhere from 2.5 up to 3 hours is our one month meeting.
Question.
Back there, Carolyn.
You mentioned that you are one of the people that your seat is open. Do you plan to run again? And so does someone need to nominate you?
Oh, I need to send out a club runner notice. You're right. Thank you for that. I will. Well, she's saying if you're not here, maybe you're not going to be nominated, or people aren't even going to know to nominate. So we will.
Really want to know whether you're going to be willing to run again.
Oh.
I am here to nominate Debbie for another 3-year term, and as her campaign manager, I have posters, bumper stickers, and yard signs that I'll be handing out. In all seriousness, Debbie has done a wonderful job as chairperson the last year. She's been on the board now for 3 years and has been our chairperson for the last year. I was the chairperson for the previous 5 years. And anyway, she's done a wonderful job, and she is willing to run, and I'm here to nominate.
All right, calm down. All right, but I know we have some other folks that might be interested, so Jerry.
I'd like to nominate Bob Larson.
Oh, great choice. Bob Larson, do you accept that? Yeah, okay. And any other nominations?
I really feel like I should nominate Bill Lieber.
Well, wonderful. Bill Leeper, back there, raise your hand. Okay. Any other nominations from your chair?
I believe some interest has been expressed by Ron Lester, so I nominate Ron.
Okay.
Ron Lester.
So that means we have Ron Lester, Bob Larson, Bill Leeper, and you know you can't go wrong with anybody, and then me, so. All right, so I will send a notice out though to everybody so that if you're not here, you know. Those of you that have been nominated, you need to think of your short paragraph, not something long. We don't need resumes. We don't need recommendations from your children. We just want a little bit about why you want to be on the foundation. It is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I will ask for nominations again next week, and then we will do the vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. And I do want to say thank you to the Board of Trustees on the foundation. They had another meeting this morning. It's a monthly meeting, and I can tell you they are being great stewards of the money that we as a club have donated, and are very, very, I think, cautious and thorough in analyzing the various requests that come in. Scott, question?
Just elaborate for the guests today that are from the recycle about the dollars amount a little bit from our gala and how we support our. You understand?
You say you want me to give them some numbers as to? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, each year in round numbers we bring in about $100,000 for our little club here, and you know, some of it's recycling events, some of it is a fundraiser. So lots of generous people in our club, a few outsiders actually, you know, sponsor and make contributions to our club. So that $100,000 every year essentially gets divvied up between lots of different organizations that members in our club, you know, a lot of them support personally, and we've been supporting some of these organizations for a lot of years, and they rely on donations from our club. So yeah, thank you, Scott. That's helpful. Hopefully that's helpful. Peter.
Yeah, I have a comment. Debbie made a fantastic, very thorough information about what the foundation is. And whoever wants to know exactly what they do and what it is all about, this is a great piece of lecture. And I think every one of us has to read it because the money is incredibly important everywhere. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I do believe these meetings are open to any club member. So any club member, is that true or not really true? Yes, it is true. I thought so. You can attend and sort of hear. Okay, moving right along. One quick announcement. If anyone was planning to attend the HIPS Hide in Plain Sight concert, the venue has changed. And Jan, the new venue is
the Kiowa Fairgrounds in Kiowa. So you just take 86, continue east, and then take a left on Ute, and you'll end up at the Kiowa Fairgrounds.
And if you plug in Kiowa Fairgrounds on your phone, it's probably get you there too.
Just a little bit further east.
So Bill.
Yes.
As far as I know, because I know I'm communicating with Joe Roos, there's Connie and Betsy going from our club, and that's it. So if there's anybody else interested, we need to know right away because Joe Roos is reserving sections.
The cost is free for anybody in here.
And Jerry and I will be there, but I'll be as a board member.
Okay, so he's probably managed that.
Yeah.
All right.
So let Debbie know if you have an interest in heading out there. Okay, Jerry Sullenfriend, why don't you come on up here? I know you've got a couple things here. While he's coming up, Connie, do you have any update on the refugee? Yeah, go for it.
They'll be able to hear on Zoom as well. The Zoomers wouldn't be able to hear as well.
I don't want to miss the Zoomers. All right, Kevin had mentioned that the Afghani families has some immediate needs, and
I haven't sent out an email blast yet because I had some technical difficulties, but I thought I would let you know. Remember, we have 8 kids. So it's a family of 10. And I'm gonna just rattle off their ages so you can kind of figure that out. We have a 15-year-old boy. He's kind of tall and slender, not as tall as him. And we have a girl, 12, 11, 10, 5, 4, 2, and a baby boy, 2 months. So that was one surprise we had, was we were told that it was a baby girl, but it turns out it's a baby boy. So one of their first requests was children's clothes. And so that would be really valuable. We also could use a television that has a USB port, so we could give them a Fire Stick, so then they could even get some Afghani news, which probably is pretty bad. Now these are other things that they love to have. If anyone has a sewing machine, a functional sewing machine, the mother is accustomed to sewing their own clothes, an iron, a vacuum cleaner. I'm afraid some of them wanted more blankets. We gave them a whole set, as you know, we did the whole house, but I'm sure this weekend is gonna be a trouble with the snow coming. And Kevin is looking into bicycles, both for the bigger boy and the smaller kids. And just Claudia, I want you to know, they do love your kitchen. They do play with the kitchen outside. So, yes.
How do you get the bicycles? I don't want to, I have a couple adult bikes.
That would be fabulous. If you get it, you just let me know and we'll arrange and pick them up. Kevin and I are gonna go, what, go ahead.
Letting you know.
All right, you're letting me know. We'll figure that out. Okay, and what? And you got a truck, good. And Monday, Kevin and I are gonna go, and I just want you to know, even though Kevin erroneously said he was a translator, nobody in the family speaks English. So it means all of our visits are like double time because we're using Google Translate with Pashto. So I'm new at that, I'll tell you. Anyway, don't hesitate to tell me if you have any of these items.
All right, Jerry, come on up. Thank you, Connie, for that update.
No, please.
You're gonna do both the golf and the Mike Fox stuff, right?
Yes, I'm gonna do it all. Okay, everybody. Let me tell you about the golf course. I'm excited about the golf. I'm filling in for Tom Keaton, and we're doing tremendous on the golf. We have right now 11 Rotary members playing golf, and a few guests of the Rotarians as well. And this could be our record amount of Rotarians playing golf with the veterans, with people in military as well as the veterans. We have already collected the most money in advance that we've ever done, and I want to say how we did this. The following people have come forward without me putting on much pressure, and handed me checks. It was a wonderful moment. Jan can get rid of those checks as fast. You did a great job on that, hon, getting rid of the money before I even had the chance to smile. Okay, but anyway, here's the way it's working. Jimmy Kinley, sponsor for God knows how many years, Jimmy, what, about 7, 8 years? Sponsoring 1,500. So that's a lot of military, people in the military, as well as people out of the military. And this year, we're going to have 5 Purple Heart veterans who can play golf. Mike is taking care of that. So I want to just acknowledge the people who have done so many great things. We have 11 golfers. We have a total of $4,100 here already. Our allocation from the foundation, we're able to put $1,500 in, and that's you. That's all of you. anytime we say foundation, that is you and the money you give into the foundation. And that's what's causing it. So here's the following people who have given extra money, and I didn't even have to ask any of them actually. Steve Miller, 150. Elizabeth Schofield, 100. Connie Golis, 150. Tom McHugh, 100. He's a fellow fundraiser. I identify with Tom. Jane Kaharski, 50. Chuck Geibel, 100. Nancy Arkin, 100. Jan Selenfriend, 100. John Logan, 50. Lee Mulberry, 100. So with a total already of 4,100 towards the tournament. So a lot of military people and veterans will be playing golf this year, and that's a fantastic start. So with that, I would like to present to Mike Foss for Warrior Bonfire. This is part of the military committee's allocation that we get from the foundation. And this is a $2,000 check. We've already given them $3,000. This is $5,000 for Purple Heart veterans. I can't think of a better way to make contributions, a better cause than this. Mike.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, thank you, Jerry, for all your work on both the golf tournaments.
Mike wants to say.
Photoshop, no, Photoshop.
Oh, all right. I want to be
I'm
tall.
taller than somebody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jerry, for your work on the NCOA tournament and for your contributions to the military committee. Mike, you want to say a couple things about your organization and how the money's used?
I'm not quite as tall as Bill. Thank you all very much. On behalf of the founders and the board of directors of the Warrior Bonfire program, we certainly appreciate the support this club has given us. For those of you that don't know, and what we do is we take groups of 6 combat wounded warriors, Purple Heart recipients, on bonfire retreats around the country. The idea is surrounded by recreational therapy, getting in the great outdoors, doing things. There's healing in the outdoors, skiing, snowmobiling, fishing, hunting, caving, canoeing with me and Connie, getting dumped in the water. And you know, we've done, you name it, we've done it. But the real thing is to help them build support communities as they go through their journey of healing, and most of it's up here. Foster that healing and improve their lives, and mostly to save their lives. The veteran suicide rate is horrific. But just so you know what this club has done over the past 5 years. Fully funded 3 bonfire retreats around the country, supported 20 combat wounded Purple Hearts in going on those retreats. But probably the coolest and best thing is, we've got a group, mostly, I think everybody but one is from this club, that calls and checks in on our Purple Hearts every quarter. And I didn't tabulate it exactly, but over the last 3 years that we've had that program, that's about 5,000 telephone calls. And most of the time, and the guys that are here, it's just saying hello, or it's not even talking and just leaving a message. But I'm looking at Connie right now, and I know Connie has found situations where we needed to get hopping and helping somebody. Jimmy did just a couple weeks ago. So what the work these people do is vital, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank this club so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for that update. And I know those calls, I've heard some anecdotal stories, and it's a great service to improve their lives. So, okay, we're going to transition quickly into the wine auction. Let's see if we can make a fast. We might start this one at a higher level because this is a very interesting wine I heard from our auctioneer. So let's welcome Bob up here.
I don't have my hat and I don't have my ring man, so you need to be my ring man.
All right, anything you need.
We'll see if we can get this auction going. All right, so this is a Portuguese wine, and it's called Meandro. Now, does anybody here understand Portuguese? I'm guessing that that's a derivative of the word meander, because this comes from an appellation called the Douro, and it is on the Douro River in about the central part of Portugal. And the river makes kind of a, they call it a bow tie formation. And I Google Earthed it, and it's a beautiful vineyard, about 250 years old, going back as most of them do, and long before that too. It is a port wine, which means it tends to be a little sweeter, and it's considered a dessert wine. This is a 2018 vintage, and it's been highly recommended. I have not tasted this myself, but it's rated a 92 by Wine Advisor and a 93 by the Wine Enthusiast. So it should be a great wine. So I've got 30 would have been a 35, bid them on 35. 35, I bought 35 would have been a 40. I got 40, bid them on 40, bid them on 40, would have been a 40, would have been a 40. I need 40, I got 40, would have been a 45, bid them on 45. Bid them on 50, would have been a 50, would have I got 50, would have been a 55, 55, bid them on 55. Bid them on 60, would have been a 60. I got 55, would have been a 60, would have been a 60, would have been a 60. I got 60, would have been a 65. I got 65, would have been a 70. Bid them on $70, do it, would have been on 70. Would have been a $70, do it. Would have been a 70, I got 70, would have been a 75, would have been a $75, do it, times 75, would have been 80, 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 I got 80, would have been 85, bid them on $85, do it, would have been 85, would have been 85, I got 80, would have been 85, I got 80, would have been 85, 80 going once. Wait a minute, I got 85, bid them on 90, I got 90, would have been 95, would have been 95, bid them on $95, do it, would have been a dollar, would have been a 95. I got 95, I got 95, would have been a 100, bid them on $100, do it, bid them on 100. I got 100, 105, I need 105, do it, would have been a 105, would have been a 105. Bid them on 105, would have been a 105, do it, do it, I got 105, do it, would have been a 105, would have been a 105. I need 105, would have been a 110, would have been a 110. I need 110, would have been a 110. Bid them on 110. I got 110. Would have been a 115, would have been a 115. I need 115. I got 110. Bid them on 110. Do it. I need 115. Would have been 115. 110 going once. I got 115. Would have been a 120. I need 120. Bid them on 120. Do it. Would have been a 115, would have been a 115, I need 115, would have been a 115, I got 110, 110 going once, 110 going twice. I got 115, would have been a 120, would have been a 120, would have been a 120, bid them on $120, do it, would have been a 120. I got 115, would have been a 120, would have been a 120. I got 115. I I got 120, would have been a 125, would have been a 125, would have been a 125. Then I'm on 125, I got 120, would have been a 125, would have been a. Okay, 120 going once, 120 going twice. Sold. No, he bid it. Oh, he bid it. He got it.
125.
Oh, okay, I got 125. Okay. We gotta call the auction off. That's getting too pricey.
Yeah. You got limits.
You got it, Bob.
125. What's that? Just so everyone knows, that money's going to foundation, so don't feel bad about overbidding on that, Martin. It's all a good cause. Okay, we're at 1:30. If you have to leave, go ahead. If you're happy or want to listen to Happy Bucks, stick around. Who wants to start us off with a Happy Bucks?
I do.
All right, Jan, what do you got?
In about 12 days, it's a very special person's birthday. So I have 87 Happy Bucks for the most incredible and amazing man I've ever known. You guys only know a piece of him. He is beyond any of my wildest dreams. So here's $85. Happy birthday, Jerry.
Oh. All right, Connie, what do you got?
I have an addendum to my announcement. Please, if anybody knows an auto broker or something, that family needs a car that seats 10. Bam! So anyway, okay.
Small bus or a big van, right? Okay, awesome. You're gonna collect for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Any more Happy Bucks out there? Phil?
We've got 20 bucks. I just want to announce that my book has been optioned for a screenplay. It's a done deal.
Hey! Wow. We knew you were talented. All right, any more? Quickly, Happy Bucks. Shannon from Texas. Oh, you made us smile too. Thank you. All right, going once, going twice. Last chance, Steve Miller and then Elizabeth.
I just wanted to say that there are Project Angel Heart bags back there if anybody would like to take them.
Oh, all right.
Where's I'm happy to lose the bottle of wine to Bob.
For a small donation. Okay, I think that's the end of Happy Bucks. Would everyone please stand and join me in the four-way test of all the things we think, say, or do? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And make it fun.